time.
Okay. So welcome to our first animal painting of the year. We have in this class, over the past few years, we've gone through phases where we've done quite a lot. But I was just thinking that I found this source from a year or a year and a half ago. And I remember thinking at the time, oh yeah, the students aren't really ready for this yet. But I feel like the lessons that we've been learning, I'm now thinking more intensively about how edges are really important when you're dealing with different subjects. And I want you to think of the fur on the lion as very much like grasses in a field or trees, leaves on trees. So there's a very similar transition. So I think it's very fitting that we go from here to there. So the big trick with animals is that, as usual, I'm going to want you to pay attention to the drawing, and we're going to draw with paint, but I'm going to show you how to measure and mark with paint today. The big mistake lots of people make with animals is they get these things all in the wrong places. So I'm going to show you some tips I use to keep that steady, because that's important, right? Like getting things at the right proportions, and that's the hardest thing to do. So let's talk about this guy for a minute. I'm going to bring him over. No, I've taped him down, but I would like to bring you over. So let's look at this fellow for a second. We have, as usual, our box technique, where we sketch out a box, right, which is pretty easy to measure. Here, I'll mark it actually with blue so it's easier to see. We have our box technique where we can kind of distinguish how tall and how wide he is. That's like usually the first thing. So since I've got him in front of y'all, what is his width compared to his height? Anybody want to take a shot at that? Try it. Don't guess. I want you to actually measure. Remember, you can use this pencil. Interesting. What is the height compared to the width of the box? Good job, you guys. I can see you doing it. What's the height compared to the width? Who wants to say? Anik, you are not, we can't hear you. You're talking, but we can't hear you. Annika, I saw you measure. What's the height compared to the width?
I'm terrified of saying these things, but
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
If you can't do this, how's it?
Not that different. I mean, it's higher, right? But
well, tell me. Right.
Yeah, but I can't.
What do you mean you can't? If you can't, then I failed you as a teacher.
Okay, you failed as
I've shown you how to do this.
Yeah, so you failed as a teacher.
Yeah, there you go. I failed as a teacher.
Yeah, that's what you said. I didn't say.
Come on, you know how to do this.
I'm trying. I just don't think there's that difference. It's not that easy because the difference isn't that big. If it was big, it would be easy.
Okay, so basically there's no difference. Very little, right? That's the answer to the question. You've got it. You're overthinking it. So I haven't failed as a teacher, and you haven't failed as a student because we've overthought it, right?
Yeah.
And let me do this just to like kind of demonstrate. Let's see. This is like 6. Yeah, it's basically the same. It's a square. So that makes it pretty easy. Connie, did you come up with something different?
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Oh, cool. I thought that it's basically almost perfect square.
The perfect square, exactly. Perfect A plus, students. You've done great.
Oh, son.
No, it's just because of my mother, you know.
Oh, son.
Yeah. No, it's your own. So when you are, and so I'm gonna now quickly.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Sam.
Hey,
You start animal in the week. I can barely be here.
We're recording it.
I've
Yep.
done this line already. so-
We'll be going on to a few more animals. Looking to see where my halfway point is. It's like kind of marked off. Okay. Here is my halfway point. So when I draw straight down,
I'm gonna go. I was just driving by to say hello.
hello,
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. So if I were to draw a line straight down the middle, here's the halfway point of all of like where all these things are. So the other thing I want to show you as we go are these shapes. So what I find really helpful when I'm sketching out lions and animals with faces is to put the nose, the top of the nose and the eyes in one shape and the bottom of the nose and the eyes in one shape and try to recreate, just like we're doing here, to try to recreate that with the same proportions here so that I'm more likely to get things in the right places. So when we're starting this, here, let me take a picture of this so you guys can see it. Give me uno momento. Oops. Wait a minute. Oh. I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to take a picture and send it across the thread so you have this really close. There you go. So as you're looking at this, you can look at it up close there, but I'll put it up on the screen, of course. So when I put this over here, with whatever, you get to choose what your underpainting color is. I'm going to choose a little bit of red because that's my usual jam.
I have nothing for you.
Right? And then what I want you to do, instead of marking this straight box, I want you to just mark with dots on your painting the end points of each line. So that'll look, let's see, a little like this. I'm going to start here and kind of decide my end point like that. And then I'm going to take my brush. You know what, I'm going to make mine a little bit longer. I want it to fit in my page more. So here, and here, I can decide that length, however long or short I want to make it. And then I'm going to come here. I'm taking my paintbrush to measure the length of that. And here, I'm going to mark the top. And then I'm going to kind of guess. If you want to, you can start this with a pencil to see if you're right. Finding the halfway point. I was a little bit off. Then I'm going to mark the halfway point here and here. Right? And then I can use this same measurement to come out here. And here. My thingy is getting in the way. So this is a very nice way, and then I've got to just double check. Yep. Here. So I'm gridding, but I'm not really. I'm gridding, but I'm not drawing the whole box. I'm just sketching the outsides of the box. It's helpful. And this is how I paint almost everything I paint from photographs. I don't exactly grid. I just mark points so that I know where to find things. So you guys try that. Let me see it. Send it across so I can take a look. Annika, you are much better at this than you think. Have confidence and faith. You know it all. You know everything. It's all there. I didn't mean to tease you earlier. You absolutely had it right.
No, I have a lot of, I don't know, anxiety lately.
Anxiety?
Yeah.
Are you guys getting ready to leave?
No, but we are leaving.
Does that create anxiety?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. It's an anxious time. Anyway, trust your intuitions. They're right on. Both of you. I saw you doing it. You guys can do this. When you think you've got it, send it over the thread so I can take a look. Just to double check. Meow, meow. Woo. What are you working on, Diana? Oh, she's working on waffles. That's what she's working on. You know how it is with waffles. Once you start, it's kind of hard to stop. Here's what's that. What are you working on, Diana?
Nothing right now. I have my assignment, but I don't think I'm gonna start with that.
All right, Anik, let's see.
I think I'm gonna do, maybe I'll do the lion.
Good job, Anik. Looks good. All right, you're ready to go. I can see you're starting with Prussian blue. Alizarin crimson. What color are you starting with?
Alizarin.
Alizarin. All right. So once we found those, then of course we can start with our outer shapes.
You know, Lado even made me do watercolor.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good practice.
He is hard
Yeah.
on. He's hard on me.
Yeah,
You-
because you're the only one there, right?
You need it. You need it, Diana. You need somebody to boss you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good at that.
That's what a good teacher does. A good teacher kind of bosses you a little bit.
Yeah, he does that. He does.
That's so funny. He's so great. I'm so happy with his classes. We may end up canceling Mondays just because I don't until we find
A better time.
well, I don't know if that's the answer. I think we need a group to come in and pick it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't, I know I'm
Yeah,
a coward,
you
but
tried really hard,
handle,
huh?
I can't
But-
handle when we're that few. I cannot.
Yeah, it's just not a good time. My,
Would you do it on another time, Annika?
It's not the time, it's the few people. I
Oh,
don't
you
enjoy
don't
it
like
because
that?
I feel very, I didn't mean to do this, to talk about it like this. I'll talk to Leah later. Okay.
yeah, she needs a good, you like a group, right, Annika?
Yeah, I
You
do.
like a group. Yep, there's just, it's hard to have the focus on you all the time.
Yeah, he's great, but I can't.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, Diana, I had this idea that maybe we could approach Bloomberg and like start a beginning drawing class with them. And if they like that time, we'll keep it. If they don't like it, but it's not like fit, like it's really not. I feel like it might be more helpful to target it,
Yeah.
you know, rather than just throw it out there and see what sticks.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, does that seem logical? I don't know. Like that's just my thinking these days.
He is a fantastic teacher.
I know. Don't worry.
So are you. But
Oh,
yeah, but he pushes me to another level.
yeah, he's your teacher. So I get it. He's a great teacher. I want to keep him on, and Sundays
Yeah.
is going fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need to do Mondays right now. So
I get it. I
Yeah.
totally get it.
yep,
I should
yep.
say too that, you know, one thing he told me was to draw a lot and do sketches and stuff and have a
And
book.
you're doing a lot of that.
And I've been doing that. And there was one day when I was completely elated. I couldn't believe I was drawing the duck, you know, in 5 seconds or something. And I was drawing
I
my husband as he was playing
remember.
guitar and stuff. And I felt so, I really liked it. So, but I
It's
I just
good.
can't
No,
do
there's
it.
no question, right? It's good. It's just hang on, Annika.
Yeah,
Wait.
but
a
I
coward.
mean, if it
I
gets
need
you
to have-
into that practice, then it's really good.
Yeah, but then she doesn't really. Okay, I see. Annika, can I see your grid?
Oh, yeah.
I have to go to my waffles again.
Go to the waffles. Go to the waffles. And then you guys can see this. Here's the halfway point, right? And here's this shape. It goes just kind of, I'm going to do this with paint, a little to the left of the center, not too far over. And let's see. It really goes about 1/3 of the way down. 2, 3. Yeah. It's going to be really easy to make this the shape too big. So can you see how helpful this is just to identify kind of top, bottom, which is what I'm basically always telling people to do. Yep. And then I can sketch in my bottom shape. Essentially, this is just finding the envelope of things. Is always just a great strategy for making sure you don't get things in the wrong places. And because we're working with acrylic paints, let's see. Hold on, I have to measure your. Good measuring, excellent measuring. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And good scaling up, Annika, good scaling up. Excellent. It's helpful to have the dang box, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really helpful. Then we can do things like this shape And the reason that we do this is that it's just really easy to get too big. And Anik, I presume you will maybe sketch out these shapes for Mateo so that he can paint them in. That might
That's
be
what I'm doing.
a good way to handle it, right?
We'll
Just to
see.
help, you know?
We are a little, because of that, we are a little behind. So
Don't worry, I'm only going fast. Can you guys see this? Do you want a close-up picture of this?
yes, please.
Okay, hold on. Well, let me take a closer picture. And I know you need to do it. So this is good practice for you, Ani, because it makes you fast, because you're doing it twice. Excellent. Also, you kind of check your own measurements. Oh, no. So my eyes, even though I totally made this bigger, my eyes are like way smaller than I thought they would be. You know, it's interesting. I start in places where I can really see the shapes. I'm going to use a little yellow, maybe orange in places where I went too dark, so I can't see my light lines. So this is going to be kind of lighter. That's darker. And do a little bit. You might have to adjust your shape outward just a little bit, right to the left. That's okay. That's what this whole process is really about. Let's see. Anik, these need to be a little bit bigger. The bottom here is about
The
one.
bottom, yeah.
A czemu tam ta pani, która
Bring this
pokazuje
down
mi
just a
tak
little bit.
krzyk?
It's a little bit, really the bottom third here
Uh-huh.
is like, see, it's basically 1/3. And yours is
Okay.
too high up. You got too cautious,
Mhm.
small,
Mhm.
and then you made it a little too small.
All right. Well, but
Mhm.
I am trying again anyway. So
Right.
the
Exactly.
second one.
This is a great exercise, right? It's the perfect exercise for this. I'm using 2 colors now. You guys are welcome, whatever color. And of course, you can use whatever colors you want. This kind of breaking things apart into light and dark shapes is not a way of thinking we're used to. But if we can get there, yeah, that's pretty much it. But if we can get to that place, it really helps in terms of constructing a painting that works, representational painting, but also, honestly, abstract compositions. Oh, I need to go get my charger. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay. But you have to be kind of prepared for the drawing to look goofy, the painting to look goofy like this. Looks a little goofy. But you learn to love this goofy. Really, it's only problematic because of how we think. Isn't that true about everything?
Really.
That's problematic because of how we think.
There you go.
I was just showing the figure drawing class. I just sent over this. I don't know if you guys remember this from last year, but you remember doing this one on foreshortening.
Yeah.
And I said, if you can really wrap your mind around this, it's going to make your drawing life so much easier. If you can really hear the technique and let go of what you think is supposed to be happening, it's fabulous. Better. Let's see. The other thing, Anik, is
Change.
this is more of a dodecahedron shape than it is a square, a rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of this shape.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna miss it later.
Mm-hmm.
But the size looks good now. There's a couple of other measurements you can make. You can check and see. You can see here that this line from one eye to the other, if I go this way, is basically the whole length, a little bit less than the whole length. Oh, and in terms of, let's talk about this for a second. If things are basically the same size, you can say basically the same size and then just adjust a little tiny bit over, right? Or under. That's a real value. That's kind of the best way to describe it when you're talking about. So this is basically the same size as the edge of the lion on this side. So Anik, also check that as well. And when you think you've got it, and then when, of course, when you think you've got it, you can start coloring in. This is the job for Mateo. He can start coloring in the darkest areas when you've got something for him with a darker paint. Maybe here is dark. Here is dark. And here is dark. And then for the lighter areas, I'm using orange, but you could also just use a lighter, a more watered down version. Of your same color, or you could use a different color. And look at how, as I start to do that, already this little fella starts coming to life. I mean, I know there's lighter variations in these darker and kind of mid-tone values, right? The lightest part is right in here. So I'm going to do super watery in here. I'm going to go darker up here. But look at how already we have a sense of lion. Just, I mean, lion with weird geometric face, but lion. Looking 1, 2, looks good, Annika. So I think, Annika, if you look, you're going to need to come a little bit wider here.
Okay.
And the reason I can tell that is when I check this line. Well, let's see. Yep, just come out a little bit wider here.
Okay.
A bit farther to the right. And you'll check it when you see these should be pretty close. They're not exactly the same, but they're pretty close. So just a scooch that way.
Oh, okay.
Also, I feel like this side needs to come, in fact, this whole line needs to shift a little bit to the right, because look at how close it is to the quarter point, this halfway point. See that? They're pretty close, and yours is a little bit more out like here. So you've got this.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Yeah, like that. So scoot the whole thing a little bit further, and then actually that might solve it.
Yeah.
Scoot it over a little bit. I'm going to use my glaze color, which will be a blue. Probably, let's see, what's this? This is, I can't even read it. Maybe Prussian blue. I'm going to use a dark blue glaze. Glaze over everything. I need to wait until this dries, of course. I'm gonna let my glaze kind of tone the rest of my painting. And don't worry, guys, we can go slow, so we can pick this up next lesson if we want to as well. I'm not in a rush. No.
Sorry, I'm back.
Still finished with your waffles?
Yeah, I didn't plan on that so much, but that's what happened. I made too much batter, so now I have waffles for 5 days.
It's an abundance of waffles.
Yeah, sure is. But that's fine. And I don't really have time to paint today anyway, because I have so much work, but
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I know starting a little later is problematic, but it's only going to be for 2 more weeks. Then we'll be back to normal. It's always this question when I just find that the more time zones that have to change their time,
yeah,
it just becomes more problematic and
I
confusing.
know.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm always like, fucking, I don't know how to handle this. How do I deal with this time? You know, like, so this time it just seemed like it made more sense for in the Europe classes for us in the US to start later. So
Yeah,
that Europe could stay the same. And then later, I don't know. It's really, it's a frustration for me. But then again, I guess it's kind of over, right? Like, I guess we're kind of headed to our last ones.
yeah. let's hope that we don't have more.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a really interesting conversation with my boyfriend about it. He was like, it seems very regulating to me. I don't see why everybody's complaining about the fact that it exists. I said, well, I can tell you it bothers me. I have problems. It creates big problems in my class schedule. And he went, yeah, you're the first person who's given me a legit reason why this should be problematic. All right, let's see. Nice, Anik. Want to make sure you're not getting too high. Yep, looking good. Very nice. Is that Mateo and you? Excellent. Good job, Mateo.
Który to jest ten mój?
This more red is Mateos, the lower one.
I thought so. He's doing great.
It's a joint effort
Tego nie
for
da
now.
się zrobić więcej.
But darker spots was.
He's doing great. Tell him he's doing absolutely fabulous. Okay, I'm going to you guys keep working. I'm going to turn off my sound for a second so I can blow dry this and go to the next step. I love that I have a hairdryer and I don't use it for anything other than paintings. Makes me happy. All right. My first step, of course, is going to be to take, this looks like Prussian blue. I'll nod to Miss Anik over there in Poland. By the way, did you see that I featured you and Diana in this month's news?
Yes, I've seen. Thank you.
It looks good, right? Did you forward it? Diana, I can see.
No, I have. Well, I forwarded it as far as I've sent it to our webmaster.
Okay.
So I expect it to get out tomorrow because he had something else he wanted to send today. So he doesn't want it to be too much from us.
Right.
Yeah.
I got it. So, but my question is, do you not have a listserv you can just literally forward that to? I can see.
No. We have a mailing list. We have a mailing service. So
we can never tell when, so I can't track by a you.
yes, you can. You can subscribe to our newsletters.
No, I can't. I mean, I can't track how many people see that content that I send you because you don't resend it out. Janet re-forwards it on a bunch of lists. So I can go onto my MailChimp newsletter and literally see there's more than 2,000 people who have clicked on
Wow.
email from her name, but I can't in any way track it from you.
No,
It doesn't come
we
from
don't.
that way.
We don't do
You don't do that.
emails that way.
Okay, that's all right. That's totally fine.
We have a mail server.
Well, then what's the best way to get you content? It's obviously not through an email.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Well,
So-
it's fine. We just have to
Repurpose it?
we have to redo the whole thing too.
Is that the easiest way then, or is there an?
Yeah, don't even worry about that.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, so I can't track.
Because it will be formatted one thing for Facebook, another way for social media, for Twitter,
Got it.
another way, because we send it out several ways.
I love it. I love it. Well, you let me know if you think of a way, if your webmaster can think of a way for me to create something that's easy for me to do, I can send it over to you.
It's fine as you do. Don't create more work for yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I will not.
You don't need that kind of work.
True enough. True enough. But if it's like an easy thing, sometimes it's
Yeah,
like an easy fix, right? Like, yeah. So yeah, with Janet, I can literally see like if I look at her email, I should show it to you guys so you can see. Like this one got almost 3,000.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So we can see it because she just forwards it from her email to people on different threads, which I think is exciting. It's nice to see like how quickly, you know, sometimes I'm like, is there any point to this? But I realize these reminders in this visual fun way are important.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas mine email that I forwarded to you guys has 8 hits. So I can see that like beyond the people I sent it to, it's not really going further. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Why am I even doing this? Why?
I'm going to once again blow dry because I feel like this is going to take too long to dry on its own. And by the way, just to let you know, I only use this technique of the hair dryer when I'm demoing for class. I never use it when I'm working on my own paintings. I either have several paintings that are going at the same time. I actually kind of like the downward motion of the drips. So I don't, as you can see with the hair dryer, it kind of pushes things around. So I'll either have 2 or 3 things I'm working on at the same time. And while one layer dries, I go to the next painting. Or I will go, you know, throw some laundry in or make extra waffles, you know, like whatever, do a little extra task. Or
It would not be a Leah painting if it didn't have drops.
the drops and coming down, right? Like,
Yeah,
kind
it
of
would not be.
so
That's your
I only do
signature.
this. I only do this because for time constraints. In general, I kind of like to let the paint sit and do what it's going to do, right? Without like, and of course, this is also sitting on a flat table, so it's not the same. But it is fun to watch it kind of push around. This version did what it does with watercolor, where it just like woo, moves around and makes new shapes, and it's kind of fun. But I wouldn't do that normally.
No.
I want the application. I want the actual application of I'm very much about the paintbrush. What does a paintbrush give us, right? What does paintbrush water texture. And what you'll notice is what the paintbrush gives us is a tool, right? Just like a hammer, just like a saw, just like, or maybe more legit to this subject, like scissors. So if you cut something out with scissors, you have a technique you're using, but your scissor cut is still going to look a little different than the person's next to you scissor cut, right? Just because of the way you hold the scissors and the type of things that you like. Some people are very neat and orderly. Other people like kind of ragged edges. And I don't know, like there's just a whole bunch of things. You might not even know what you like. It might even more be about just what do you do naturally without thinking about it. So technique hones you into that process. So I like to see that. I like to see kind of what happens. And then, oops, I think I knocked over it in my flow drawing and knocked over the color photo. When you two are done with your painting and your glazing, let me know and we'll go on to color mixing. You can let your paintings dry while I start to show you. We'll look at the color version. And I'll start to show you the color mixing. And while we're doing that, I'm going to look. Yeah. The ochre is involved. White.
Mine is almost dry.
Did you do the glaze too?
Yes, brush and blue.
For both of you. Good. Well, good.
Yes. The Matteo got tired and he's gonna leave his animal at the stage of the glaze.
Well, that's totally okay. He can.
And anyway, it looks like this.
On it anytime. I've noticed that I don't have any. I think I've run out of burnt sienna. And
Oh, no.
all right, burnt sienna, which is a good thing to have for this. Because I'm gonna have to build it. Well, I pulled out ultramarine blue. Let's see.
Hi.
Shit. They're falling over. Let's see. Oh, very fiery, very nice. Like it. I like these, you guys. These are terrific. It's absolutely terrific.
Beautiful. It's like golden.
Really lovely, lovely. Okay. So the colors I'm picking out. Iron. What do I have here? I'm gonna go up. I'm thinking we're I'm going to mute you if you don't mind, Annika, while we settle down. Okay. I've got some ultramarine blue and burnt umber. I've got these colors which might come into play. And I've got some yellow ochre and white. And I'm just looking to see. I think Naples yellow will also be helpful here. I may be out of that too. Hold on, I'm gonna go look. Let's see if I have some Naples yellow. Maybe I'm just. I may be. I knew I'm really in bad shape when all I've got is a cut up tube. I might have a little bit of Naples yellow. Here, let's see if we
And
can.
maple yellows, is that like cadmium yellow or like lemon yellow?
It's like neither one. It's
Okay.
like it's an amazing. That's why I separate it out. It's kind of like a cool whitish. It's like a pale Dijon mustard.
Oh, okay.
It's really great. It's nice for bringing in brights when you don't want, when you want to push back the glow a little bit, right? When you want, because sometimes you need that. Sometimes you want a light that's like not exactly white. I took a class at the Art Students League of New York.
Yeah.
recently, and I'm just looking for something to get this out. All right, let's see here. I guess I'm just gonna have to use, I don't have a palette knife, so I'm just gonna pull this out. And this was about 4 years ago, and the woman, this is Naples yellow. And the woman who taught the class, this was a key in her palette. By the way, Anique, so was Alizarin Crimson. Very important colors for her in her palette. She had all the other ones, and if you compare it to hold on, or yellow ochre. If you compare it to these other two, here, I'll take a picture so you can really see the difference.
Mhm.
I'll take a picture. There you go. I'll even label it. If you don't have it, don't, I just sent it across labeled Naples, cadmium, and ochre. So you can see the difference between them. Anyway, they're great. It's great to have. And I think as usual, we're going to start with our darks. And I'm going to start with a slightly smaller brush. It's a flat compared to my 1-inch brush. It's fairly small. I want a little bit more control. And the reason is my dark areas aren't very dark. And here I'm laying down. For me, I'm going to my basic ultramarine blue and burnt umber. You can, if you have a dark that's similar but different colors, of course you can mix it. This is still, in my mind, the universal, the ultimate universal dark, at least at the beginning. Also, I've got it. Here, let's see if I can get that blue off everywhere. No, it's just everywhere now. All right. This is my hands right now. I am not ashamed. It is a mess. And I've got my dark, and I'm going to come in here.
Oh, so the dark is ultramarine blue and burnt umber.
Yes, as always. As always, my favorite color. And here, I'll pull this down a little bit. And I'm going to scoot it over a little bit. I can already tell. I don't really, I'm kind of resisting this brush. I don't really like it very much. It's too small, but I know I need it for my next stage. So and notice I'm kind of raggedying the edge a little bit where it meets my lighter area. And I'm kind of sketching it up here. I know there's a lighter color in the ear. See how I'm kind of floofing it? Floofing, that's official term. But I'm not worried so much about, it's still looking pretty blocky right now. I'm not worried so much about that. And by the way, if we're feeling like maybe we'll wait until maybe the next section, the next 2 lessons will be free lessons, because I do feel a little bit bad about Sandra missing these. So maybe we'll just do this one and then wait. You guys can pick what you want to do and I'll help you.
But she has done that lion, so.
Has she done this, Liam? Yeah,
Yeah,
this
she
one
said
I feel
that.
bad about. It's the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want her to like join in. I'm going to return to this one for just a moment, and then I'm going to kind of mark I know my eyes are kind of lighter, but I'm gonna kind of mark the outer shapes in this color. Oh, he's so fucking cute. Notice this isn't exactly centered. It's a little bit to the right.
Ay, ay, ay. I'm staying in my garden a little bit.
Your garden must be really happy because of all the rain.
Gosh, it's like a frigging jungle out there.
Completely out of control, right?
Yeah. Completely. I'm doing a sketch. This is just some flowers I took in that the thing I did the watercolor of.
Yes, please send it over.
And let's see how it goes.
I'm taking a little bit of orange just to clean up my lines. I'm not worried about the spots. I'm mostly just worried about the kind of placement of the features. And already he's really cute. He's super cute.
Yeah. Here's my sketch.
Let's see.
It's just super sketchy.
I like your sketches. Oh, broke it. There we go. Okay. Whoops. Oh, that's cool, Diana. And you did that in watercolor? Can you show us the watercolor?
The watercolor is just the one flower. And then I did it in pencil. First, I did it in pencil because
Why don't you send
that other teacher of yours is forcing me to do things I normally don't do.
Isn't he a bastard? Can you send those over so we can see those?
Yeah,
too?
I'm doing it now.
Perfect. When you get a chance.
So it's the sketch and then the watercolor, just the flower.
Let's see here. It's fun to see this. I love to see your watercolors.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a 10-minute watercolor or less.
Nice. Oh, lovely. Fun. Great. Perfect. Oh, these are great. You guys are going to enjoy looking at these. They're cool.
It's
The other thing I might do since I'm here is try to sketch in kind of the side of the mouth on this side. And I'm trying to decide, yeah, I think I want to sketch in kind of where his head stops and his fur. There's this kind of wrinkly forehead. There's kind of like the place where you can no longer see, you can see the skull. And that's what we're trying to sketch out. I think that's all we really need in terms of detail. So it's really, here, I'll show you. It's like really this line, and then these lines. Poor guy just breaking him apart. Oh, and I can do this too, I suppose. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Or, oh yeah, I bet you'll be finished this meeting today. I'm betting. And when you think you've got it, send it over. I'm not sure I have these exactly right. So I may correct them later. So cool. Those are so cool, Diana, honestly. They're neat.
We'll see where it goes. But it's
I'm
fun.
gonna-
It's fun to do things I wouldn't have done otherwise.
Exactly. And I was thinking for the next newsletter, I might do a step-by-step. So that might be a good, keep taking pictures of the process.
Okay.
We can maybe do a slideshow. Oh, wow, Onyx, so cool. Yeah.
I mean, I already like him like that.
I
It
like
looks,
it. Yes.
it looks like graffiti of some
Doesn't it? In a
movement.
way, you want to stop, right? In a way, we want to stop. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Yes. So notice that's once again our lesson to remember that if we can block out the lights and darks and take the time to do a little measuring, your painting then boom comes together, like all of a sudden in a rush, your painting comes together. Oh, beautiful, Annika. Beautiful. These are stunning, you guys. You're right. At this point, we could totally just stop. I don't want to. We're not going to. These are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Bravo. And the strength of the light that I feel coming in both your pieces, it's wonderful. And you see how you do that just by kind of pulling in the darks. Yours looks better than mine right now. Honestly, they're fabulous. These are
Oh,
great.
they are fabulous.
Aren't they great? Aren't they great?
Yeah.
I know, they're wonderful. So I'm continuing to work with a smaller brush. I'm debating over, let's do our darker midtones. So I'm going to give you a little bit of leeway here. You might want to use one of your yellows and some brown and maybe a little red or orange just to kind of glam it up a little bit. I'm using my Naples yellow, but you could also try this here. I'll do it with ochre too. Ochre has a beauty. Yeah, and a little orange in. So we're doing our darker midtones. Like, oops, too dark. I'm going to use this. And remember, oh yeah, and here's where I have to go back to my bigger, heavier brush because I can't get the, can you see how blocky and sticky this, here, I'll go really close so you can really see it. See how kind of stunted these look? But if I go in here with this brush, I can brush in kind of a softer edge. What I'm also noticing is I need a little bit more dark. So now I've got two brushes going. I'm brushing in my dark a little bit more heavily in. And then I can brush out my midtone kind of there. So I think any mix of yellow, I'm just experimenting with all of them now. Red or orange. And see, I'm using this brush to kind of create funky edges. This is still the dark mediums. So I'm moving around to where I can see. So over here. I'm generally brushing in over the edges of the dark so I don't see them anymore. And this kind of dark medium kind of doing that. And then I'm going to go much lighter. I'm going to lay some white down. Maples. What I want is something that reads, I'm mixing white with Naples, maybe a touch of ochre. Right? But really, it's all these little light, edgy areas in here. Needs to be a little darker. Kind of look at how these edges layer off each other. Notice I haven't really gone to the face yet. That's going to require a little bit more control. So when I come in here, and you know, you guys, you do have this option to, how do I say it? To keep this as loose or tight as you want to. You have the power, because you're right, they're already reading really nicely. And by the way, notice, normally people go to the eyes first. You have not had to do that to convey lion, because you're working with the bigger shapes. It's kind of, I can see, I'm going back to my, it's kind of a grayish side on the left side of his nose. So I'm just going to white, whatever my dark was, and adding white to it. I kind of have a feeling you two are going to wail on this in a really good way. So there's kind of a grayish cast to what's happening around his face. Till we get to the furry, fluffy parts. So see how I'm kind of just sketching that in. I'm letting it mix a little bit with my other colors. Oh my God, he's fabulous. Sorry, I'm going fast. I know I'm going fast, but this is way too fun. I can't stop myself. And I feel like you two have got it. So you tell me if you want me to slow down or stop or repeat anything. But I have a feeling everybody's on their way. Notice that everything's a little bit lighter on the right side. See how I'm using maples and yellow to kind of effect that? Sometimes think that maples is a little bit more exciting than white. No, buddy. He's your bubby bubby. He's so cute. Cute little lion. Cute little lion. Adorable. Love you. Love you. Kind of going back and forth between my dark and my light edge so that things are softer. Kind of a little bit lighter. If you can't see some of this stuff, definitely look at the photograph that I sent across the thread for the color. And of course, I'm going to stop here because I'm just going to wail on this thing and just keep going until I get so excited. I can't really.
You go, Leah.
Right, yeah, can I go? It's just so cute though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a cutie. I know you guys are going to, because this is just excellent. I'm bringing my ear down a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna go get a little bit more tea. Then we'll talk about facial feet. We'll talk about some of the more detailed facial features. It's very easy also to kind of drift out of bounds. I don't know if you see what I'm doing now, but I'm kind of correcting. I brought his white on the right side a little bit too far out. Doesn't take much.
I've sent mine in an awkward state between graffiti and turning to alive. I know.
Need help with it,
The
or
thread.
Yeah, mine is in a super awkward state too, but that's okay.
yes, as we know, the awkward stage is the best stage. Let's see.
Oh, Anik.
I love those
I
little
like this.
things. This is looking great.
It's like weird state, yeah, but it has something in it. I don't know.
Beautiful.
That's very cool.
And I have a Naples yellow but pale one, and it does all the magic on his fur. Honestly,
Isn't it great?
it's wonderful. I need to buy me also the normal, like the standard Naples yellow, but the pale one is just, it's
It's
like,
even better. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a sunset in Naples, really.
Yeah. That must be why they call it that.
Yep.
All right. It's marvelous. It's amazing how these layers, light onto dark, medium onto light, how they really inform each other. You kind of need them all. I know I'm going a little bit darker on the edge here, but I feel like there is a significant shift from kind of skull to fur. It's marked by a darkness, and I want to get that before I lighten it up. There we go. Some places I might just keep it. It's so funny. By this time of morning, Hermes is really bored because the old cat is sleeping, so she's always sleeping, Luca, and the stray cat is sleeping because he doesn't sleep at night, so he sleeps during the day. So there's this point where he's out and everybody's sleeping but him, and he's really bored.
He can get all the attention to himself.
Yes.
Hasn't he found that out?
Well, I'm a little busy, so
Oh, you don't say.
he's running around. This is often when he starts bugging our renters to try to come in.
How long are they there for, your renters?
These ones are here for a week. Usually it's 3 to 4, 2 to 4 days. It's the average length of stay, but these guys are here a little longer.
Do they mind the kitty?
I mean, most of them seem not to. Most of them kind of like him. And he'll run into the house if they let him. I mean, we list that this is a pet friendly house, so we tend to get people. I mean, not everybody has pets, but we tend to get people who like pets.
Do you ever get people that bring pets?
Oh, yeah. That's why, yeah, we get a lot of people who bring pets. Dogs, usually, occasionally cats. Once a ferret. Yeah, we get a lot of pet and a lot of people who do dog shows stay with us.
Oh,
When there's the big Portland dog, because we'll let like big giant dogs stay, as long as they're, taken care of, which people in the dog shows always take really great care of their pets. They're the ones who probably are the best pet owners in a way. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm starting to, with the corner, I've got this little brush, but it's got a corner. It's a slide, what we call a slider. So it's got a sliding tip. And so I'm using the corner of that to kind of pull out some of the harder edges in this lion's face. It's kind of around the eyes. I'm just going all dark with the eyes right now. And then I'm going to add the lighter bits in on top. Same with the nose, kind of dark here. There's a little dark edge. That's his mouth on this side. You cannot really see the edge of his mouth on this side. So Diana, I think I'm going to show you guys. It's so funny. I got a picture from my not my current runners, but my last runners. I got a text from them. They all have my phone number in case anything goes wrong, and it looked like, let's see if I can find it. Here, hold on. I'll turn it over, and they're just hilarious. Let's see here. This one.
have you started working on that portrait?
Oh, no, they're not ready to do that yet.
No.
They're not ready to do that yet. It probably won't be until much later. She clearly wasn't ready to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I showed them the other painting. That turned out great. We visited with them for quite a bit.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, this is so funny. So I got this picture and they were like, is this your cat? What he's doing. If you look on the thread, it's just like, yes, it's my cat. He's just a goof.
That is nice, though.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that hilarious? So he is obviously in the house. He's sitting on one of their laps. He is such a little hammy.
It's nice.
I know, little buddy. All right, let me. Oh, what happened here? Oh, there we go. Okay. Still kind of mucking around with kind of making sure my features are in the right area. I'm now finally going to the brush I almost never use. I mean, I sometimes use it, a little pointy brush. And I'm going to add in some Naples yellow and ochre. Here, I'm going to push this down. So my eye is really all black. And what I'm doing is adding just a little bit of light to it. Not too much, because most of that eye is black, right? The shapes around it. And then I'm going to kind of work on with this tiny brush. Kind of hardening, going back in with dark to kind of sharpen some of these lines. Adding in a little bit of an iris. So the trick with these eyes, the eyes is where the hardest lines are. And it's not just the eye, there's this kind of, it's like the cat is wearing eyeliner.
Yeah.
All around. It's very thin on the top. It's kind of got this triangle here of dark, a little thicker on the bottom, and then it comes down here and helps shape the nose. So here's where I'm really focusing my attention on the hard lines. And as well, I've got a red and a brown that I'm mixing together with some white for the pink part of the nose. So burnt umber and looks like ultramarine crimson, and it's just a kind of a little bit right here, right? The rest of this is dark. Oh, shoot, I can't see. There we go. Sorry. So this is this kind of pink color. The rest I'm kind of really looking closely at these sharp little shapes. This is where all of the detail goes. There's a little bit down. There's a little bit of the dark dots here. Try to really follow what's happening. I don't just make dots. I try to like make the dots where they are. And notice as they come down, they're much more striking on this side. Notice where they start and stop. Pay attention to those things, right? That's the difference between getting the details right and then just doing random dot making. Look at where these dots start, kind of start on the edge of this, the left edge of the nose here. They come in a little bit more here. They get a little lighter as they come in here. There's also this neat little light edge around the top of the nose, right here, that helps shape it. And it gets very light. Here, hold on. Yeah, so we're not going to finish this. So we will not do any more animals until Sandra gets back. Make sure Sandra hears that,
Beautiful.
right? He's coming along.
I have
Thank you. I need to work on the face now. I think this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a little bit all over the
Time
place.
to do that, right? We're just getting
Mm.
started on that.
And I think that I'm gonna stay with the green background because it really
It works,
underlines the features. Yeah,
right?
works really nicely.
I have to let my painting dry a little bit, otherwise it's just gonna be
Well,
gray.
let's hold them up. Let's hold them up. Hold on. Let's, I'm gonna remove the spotlight so we can all show where we got to. Let's take a look. I know you sent them across. I'm sure they're great.
Just give me a
Oh,
second.
they're looking amazing.
I'm coming.
Amazing.
I'm
Oh,
coming.
I really like how you, in particular, I love how the line of the mouth is moving up to the right. You're inspiring me to do more. Colors are fabulous. Oh, that's beautiful, Diana. Oh, so
Yes.
fun. Oh my God.
Love the lions.
Look at Annika, look at how those reds, can you hold it up for one
Yeah.
more second?
Yeah.
Hold it up so we can see it.
Annika.
Okay. Yeah, but
Hold
it's running right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
so hold it up. So look at how
Oh,
the
look
reds
at that.
of her
Mm.
underpainting are coming in and
Oh,
informing.
it's
In a
beautiful.
way,
Yes.
you might consider keeping some of them. Or
Yeah.
like not totally covering them up because they add a kind
Beautiful.
of nice vibrancy.
Yeah, it looks
Super.
like really like
So-
shining, like it has fire simply under.
Right? So we have 15 minutes. We can keep working, or does anyone want to keep working, or do you want to? I kind of sense people were wanting to stop, but I don't know.
Mine need to dry before I can go on because I can see how messy it gets when I touch with more
When you
color.
start mucking around with it, okay,
Yeah.
go make more waffles.
Now more waffles. I need to work.
More waffles or more work.
Yeah, more work.
Yeah.
But
All right. Let's.
doing this kind of painting is so not